All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Arena of Legends Team Ace Invitational. This is day number 2 of the quarterfinals. I am Moltrap. With me here is Wolf. How are you doing today, Wolf?
I'm doing great, man. I'm really excited about the matches we've got today, especially our first one, Oz versus MVP. Oz has been showing some awesome PvT recently. He's going to be playing against one of the best Terrans, if not the best Terran in the world.
Yeah, I think there's definitely no doubt about that. Well, I guess there's some doubt. MVP did lose to MMA in the finals of the last season, so showing a little bit of vulnerability there, but you're right, definitely one of the top Terrans in the world. And so, even though Oz, as he said, has been putting out some really excellent PvT lately, even in the GSL just recently, he is going to have his work cut out for him with the much higher class MVP.
Yeah, very true. I mean, he has beaten some awesome Terrans, but he has not gone up against the likes of the best, which is MVP. So I'm really excited here for Oz. I mean, this is actually a chance for Oz to prove himself yet again. He can kind of stick his feet back into the water and say, you know, this is the hottest water I've stuck my feet into. Can I keep my feet in there? Can I play against the best of the best when it comes to PvT? And if he can do this, I mean, I've already said time and time again, Oz is the guy to learn how to play PvT from, but if he can beat MVP here, I mean, what else is there to say? Clearly, his style is one of the best.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is definitely a proving ground for Oz. He's did really well in his group play. By the way, just a reminder what you're seeing on screen. The schedule and the match format this weekend is all of the round of 8, round of 4, and finals. Today is the second day, the last day of the quarterfinals, the round of 8. Tomorrow is going to be the semifinals, and then the finals will be on Sunday. There's a map pool there if you're interested as well. And the prize money, the champion gets 10 million Korean won, which is about $9,000 US. Caldor said it was probably about 600 euros, 700 euros. You guys are in Europe. And here's the results thus far. Slayer's Ganji taking out Curious. That was an interesting series. Couple cheeses and then a nice long macro game for number 3. And what? Yep, it's true. Bung Bung 2-0'd Nesty yesterday in a Zerg versus Zerg. The Master has been schooled. And so that's going to be the first semifinal tomorrow, Ganji versus Bung Bung.
Yeah, and of course today we've got I Am MVP versus Oz, and Supernova versus Dongregu. Supernova, a player who has shown to be really awesome in the past. He kind of had a lull in his success. He was playing a little bit inconsistently for a while, but this guy has popped back up, doing really well at WCG, doing well in our Team Ace Invitational here, and he's playing against the Terran Killer himself, so this is going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, Supernova has been showing a little bit of weakness lately. His Code S group, he really got trounced a little bit there, so he is going to have to bring a little bit better game than that if he's going to win today against Dongregu, a very strong player. Of course, it is going to be a different matchup. He had trouble against other Terrans in Code S, so hopefully Dongregu will be, I guess, somehow easier for him to beat, which is kind of a crazy thing to say, but Terrans have beaten Dongregu before.
This is true. You know, I wanted to also mention that this tournament has been played mostly online, but in this case right now, these players are all playing in a LAN setting in Busan, so it's kind of, there's a live audience there, there's a lot going on down there, so in this case, it's not really going to be the sort of online thing that we've seen so far in this tournament. MVP and Oz are actually sitting in front of a crowd right now. It's a very stressful atmosphere, you know?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely different situations. Here's the stats of our players for our first matchup. MVP, I can't even count that high, man. There's just so many championships on there and different accolades. Okay, I can't actually count that high, but he has done so much, just such a strong player. And this isn't even counting, you know, him winning, you know, MLG. He's not listed on there either. He has just done so much. Helped lead his team to the GSTL Season 1 Championship. Although that was a while ago. I was actually looking at the Hall of Fame. We have like a Hall of Fame out in the lobby at the studio here showing the champions of every season thus far. And half of the championships, like 8 out of 16 of them, are IM. Oh wait, maybe I have the numbers wrong, but it's about half of them are IM, either Nesty or MVP or IM winning the actual GSTL. It's actually a little bit ridiculous how imba that team almost is. And Oz is his competitor. Not as many accolades, but he's doing well. He's in the round of 16 in the Code S this season as well. Did really well in Code A in his debut. Definitely something to look out for.
Yeah, definitely look out for this guy. His team did not do very well. I was actually on that team at that time. I was sitting on the bench over there. He got 6th place in the Venus division, and individually himself, when playing in the team league, only got 2 wins, lost 4 times. But even so, that's it's not really what you should look at. You shouldn't look at his GSTL play. You should look at his individual league play, where he's been showing some awesome high Templar timing, some great forge upgrade timings as well, and also is showing everyone right now just how much pressure you can put on with your first Zealot and Stalker. He's actually really just taking that to the next level.
Yeah, definitely. So I think we're almost ready to go. We're going to get started here in just a minute. MVP versus Oz. It is going to be a great set of games, I believe, because like you said, normally we'd say, oh, MVP, he's MVP, right? He's just going to win, but I really think Oz has a lot more to show us today. I think he's going to put up a really good fight and might even take the series. Might even take the game, maybe even the series. Happen to Nesty. We're going to find out in just a moment here. MVP versus Oz. It is going to be crazy. Don't go anywhere. In just a moment, we're going to get into Game 1. All right, up here at the top right-hand spawn of the map, Daybreak is none other than our several-time champion. It is I Am MVP. And down here at the bottom left, in the red, is his competitor who has his work cut out for him, but has shown some extremely strong play. Can he do it? It is FXO's Oz.
Now, this is a really awesome map. It's one of our newer maps of the GSL. It's a 2-player map. It's a huge rush distance. I would not be surprised if we see a 1-gate expand from Oz. Probably not a Nexus first, but that's also entirely possible. You're just going to have to wait and see what these guys' plans are. MVP is that guy who likes to do the 1-racks expand into that ghost pressure timing. He likes to do those type of builds a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Just to give you guys a little bit of some statistics here, Oz, even though he's been showing really great play lately, it's kind of a new thing for him to be playing so well against Terrans. He actually doesn't have a very good record. He's only got a 38% win rate, technically, against Terran players, but recently he's been doing a lot better. The last several games he's been taking some wins off some pretty good players.
Very true. And as I was saying, MVP has actually skipped gas here. He's going for the 1 barracks expand. Yep. Oz is actually going to be able to get in here and scout this because MVP did not do the early depot block. Ooh, actually, no. MVP has hidden a 2nd barracks outside of the middle expansion. It's looking like he wants to put on some crazy early pressure. We have seen MVP actually do supply drop all-ins in this matchup sometimes in these online tournaments, so we may see that.
We saw him do that in the Arena of Legends last season against Huck, I believe. Yeah, he supply drop rushed Huck, and he had a 3rd barracks, though. Yeah, there's the 2nd depot. Not going to happen this time. And, of course, that was on a 4-player spawn map, so Huck didn't scout it, or couldn't have scouted it until it was too late anyway. But yeah, he's going to put on some pressure here. Marines being made out of both barracks right now. And yeah, that probe is still alive though. Oh, it finally dies, but he was able to see to that probe. It looks like Oz is probably thinking to himself, oh, okay, fast expand.
Yeah, of course.
Expand because there's no gas.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to tell at this point that there's no command center. He's going to have to send another unit out. He probably expects the command center to be made on the low ground. Now, interestingly enough, MVP has actually taken both of his gases now, so he may actually start a tech lab on his 2nd barracks if he chooses to when those gases finish. This is a really interesting strategy by MVP. He's going to be able to put a lot of pressure on even with these first few Marines, but Oz is moving out with his very standard Zealot Stalker poke. MVP taking the watchtower on the right side is not going to see the Zealot heading towards his barracks. Oh, he's not going to scout it.
Very close.
but he is going to maybe catch the Stalker with the line of sight blocker.
Oz a little bit slow on the upkeep there. Doesn't respond too quickly and almost loses the Stalker. That would have been really horrible if he lost that. MVP's actually gone ahead and switched up, gotten 2 gas going, and I don't think he's actually, has he gotten that command center? No, he doesn't even have a command center.
He started a factory, interestingly enough.
So MVP is really, really putting on the pressure here. He doesn't want to play a longer game right now. He wants to get a good timing attack probably going in the mid game to just put on a ton of pressure at once and just basically stomp on Oz. Now Oz only has the 1 gateway right now. He's making a second, but he's going to have to make some more production as well to keep up with MVP. Although it looks like, do you think MVP is going to expand, or is he just kind of faking an expansion right now?
I don't think he's going to expand yet. I think he's going to add a starport. Then he has 2 options. He already has the 2 barracks, so he's got a decent amount of Marines out. He may add a reactor, just start using medevacs to put pressure on. But it looks like he's going to add 2 starports here, actually.
Oh, wow.
We may see 2-port Banshee, as 2 tech labs are also being created here. So I think we are going to see 2-port Banshee, absolutely.
Definitely, yeah. That's actually kind of cool, using both the barracks and the factory to make 2 tech labs so that he can put both the tech labs on the starports immediately. And look at it, Oz prodding, sees the bunker, is going to think that it's an expansion build still, and he has his own Nexus coming up right now.
Yeah, there's no way he can get close enough to spot for that command center right now. And there go the switches on the starports. He's going to have 2 Banshees in production immediately here. The question is, will he get Cloak?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Well, we're going to find out in a moment, I guess. But if you're going to get that many Banshees, it would stand to reason that Cloak would be good, because you're going to have that many Banshees anyway. It's a good investment. But he may just be, I mean, with 2 starports, it's hard to really afford the gas or the money at all for Cloak while you're making double Banshees, because Banshees are expensive anyway. So I think he's probably just going to go for just mass Banshees and just kind of overpower him and over-micro him.
Yeah, very true. You know, Oz is looking to put some pressure on him here, though, and he's only got the 3rd gateway just finishing up now. But with this bunker and SCV is ready to repair, I think that MVP will be able to hold, especially with 2 Banshees about to pop out. They do so much damage, but he'll have to tip his hand here and show Oz what he's doing if he does show those Banshees. Here we go! Guardian Shield up! Force Field on the bunker. There's so many Marines, though, it looks like Oz is going to have to back up.
Only the 1 Force Field on the bunker. He only had 2 sentries, and they were relatively new sentries, so he didn't quite have the energy to just spam force fields there, and so he's forced to just prod and then fall back again. Doesn't want to commit to that.
Oh man, MVP is hiding his Banshees, and Oz starting 2 forges. Now this is going to allow him to make photon cannons, which will be quite helpful, but yeah, there is Cloak, and he still does not have a robo. He's still sticking with just 3 gateways, and this timing attack from MVP is going to be sick. Yeah, he just does not have enough DPS to really break through here. The Stalkers want to do a lot of damage, but nice force fields here.
And MVP is going to be able to thin up some of those troops there and still hold his bunker. And, you know, the less Stalkers on the map when those Banshees come out, it's going to be the better for MVP. And yeah, it looks like the Banshees aren't quite moving out yet. He's going to have 6 Banshees in Cloak, and he's going to move out with that. And here's the thing, Oz, if he can somehow... If his game sense tingles, if his spider senses go, I sense Banshees, then he can put down some cannons right now, because he does have the forge.
Yeah, he has the forges.
2 forges.
Double upgrades right now. He's adding more gateways. He's adding 2 more gateways to be exact. He's also adding a Twilight Council. You know, he actually moved far enough forward to see that there was no command center. But has he realized, has he really thought about that? Because he was trying to micro at that point. Has he really thought about the fact that there's no command center there? Has he really gotten an idea of what's going on? But there are so many Banshees out. He's starting a Dark Shrine here, which is actually going to be so terrible against what MVP is doing. He will have a scan almost absolutely when he pushes, and even if he doesn't, he's just going to be able to make a Raven. But, the key is, of course he's going to use a scan. He wants to use a scan to kill an Observer. He goes, cloaks his Banshees in order to fly over the Watchtower. He may catch a ton of these units.
The sentries are just easy pickings there. There's no way for him to detect this. Oz loses 4 sentries before he reacts. He's going to work on those. What? His Stalkers are attacking the rocks instead of moving, and Oz just leaves the game.
I think this play is very indicative of MVP being afraid of playing against Oz in a straight-up game PvT. I think that's exactly what we saw in this game.
Really?
I think that's what happened, man. And he tricked Oz so well. Oz seemed completely clueless as to what was going on. I love that MVP cloaked at that moment. He was like, you might have the watchtower right now, so I have to cloak now or you will see me. And then he saw these units, and he could have just decided to fly over them and go for probes and do something else, but the better choice there was to just kill Oz's forces. And man, Oz accidentally clicked on the rocks, but even if he didn't click on the rocks, he would have lost all his units anyways.
Yeah, pretty much. That was a little bit of a misclick, but yeah, MVP, he just played that really, really well and really played the mind games against Oz. And I'm actually a little surprised Oz didn't put more pressure on the front there. He could have done some more damage, I think.
Yeah, he never really committed. He wasn't really sure if he wanted to. And, you know, if I had seen absolutely no Marauders, in that case I would have been like, okay, something is a little bit weird here. I think I can probably break you. You have no Marauders. You only have one bunker. I think he warped in a few too many sentries for just one bunker that he had extra forces he wasn't really able to use. If he had more Zealots in that fight, he could have really broken through those Marines. I think the Stalkers would have been able to do the real damage, but
yeah, no, just a handful of Zealots, and he would have been able to just slaughter those Marines pretty easily and done some more damage there. Of course, then the Banshees would have come out of their hiding place.
Yeah, and it would have allowed him more time.
It would have been interesting, but yeah, it would have at least gotten him. He would have been able to put up a couple cannons and then been okay against the counterattack there until he got Robotech. But that is the past. The future is going to be on Belshire Beach.
Our new snowy version of Belshire Beach. Bring your winter coat.
Winter. It is winter now, so the beach is a little frosted over.
Yeah, it's really cold in Belshire right now.
That's right.
Not quite as cold as Antarctica, but a little bit more cold than it is in Seoul. You know, it's colder than it is in Seoul, but not quite as cold as Antarctica. It's somewhere in between.
I think Belshire is very similar, climatically speaking, to Seoul.
Yeah,
it's pretty cold in the winter. It snows a little bit sometimes, but not like all the time. Although apparently it gets really, really cold here. I've heard like different things from different people and read different things about how cold it gets, so I'm not quite sure, but it's supposed to be pretty bitter. But we're gonna get started with game number 2 here. Can MVP close out the series, or can Oz make a comeback? We're gonna find out right now.